Hey, Weirdos. I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid.
Morbid.
Just kidding. It's special. I'm just a sad clown, so I'm being sad.
A sad clown.
I'm a sad girl clown.
And a lot of you probably know who I am. But if you don't.
Who are you?
I'm the lead singer. I'm a Mama Emeritus.
Oh, honey, I love it.
Yeah, I'm Mama Emeritus. I decided to keep the high pony.
The high pony, Mama Emeritus.
You know? Oh, I did keep
the fuck you.
Mm-hmm. It's Halloween, y'all.
I can't move too much because then my hat teeters and I can't move my face. And also I can't laugh really well. So this is going to be an adventure.
It was kind of awesome because Ash laughed earlier and she went, and it sounded like a scary clown.
Well,
so there you go.
Well,
it's also, we're getting used to being like, we don't film a lot.
No.
So this is an experience.
Maybe we should start. Maybe like once a week we should just get into a wild ass costume and just like start.
I think for listener tales, we should just be in costume.
I kind of love that idea.
And just film our listener tales because we can be silly goofy with those.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that would be really fun.
What do you guys think?
I'm into it.
I heard you say you're into it, so maybe we should do that.
I'm trying to think of something to clown meme, like, what do you guys
think?
What do you guys think? I don't think you're supposed to talk while you mime, but...
I don't think so either, but that's that might be the whole purpose of miming.
Well, I'm not a mime, all right? I'm a freaking clown.
It's true, but you know what? It's listener tales today. It's Halloween.
We're excited.
Halloween. A few of you guessed right too, because I posted a photo with my like freaky eye.
Oh, I didn't.
Hopefully you can see well.
I didn't even post a teaser.
Yeah, and a lot of people guessed mine.
I love that.
Somebody thought I was David Bowie, and I was like, valid.
Well, next listener tales, maybe you should be. You were him from Labyrinth before.
Yeah, now I needed to be another era.
Ooh. Ziggy.
Yeah.
Ziggy Stardust. That'd be a fun one. And then I could be like a famous rocker.
Ooh.
Oh, the gears are turning.
I have a theme of famous rockers going on.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Also, happy Halloween, because it's legit Halloween right now.
It's Halloween. It's not Halloween when we recorded this.
No.
But we're in the Halloween spirit. You better believe.
Oh, we stay in the Halloween spirit.
So it's Halloween now.
Yeah.
Where you are.
It's Halloween where you are in the future. And in the past, it's not Halloween yet, but it's Halloween every day in our hearts. So
it's true.
Here we are.
It is, and that's why we're going to do this more often. But it's listener tales. We're going to do some Halloween-themed listener tales. And of course, this is why we decided to make this a fun, spooky event that I think we're going to do all the time now.
I think it's going to be great, but let's get to the tales. It's listener tales. It's brought to you by you, for you, from you, and all about you.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Look at...
Oh, yeah. Twins. Oh, I bumped my mic.
Oh, wait, I can't smile.
Don't smile.
Twins.
Anytime I'm excited, I think I'm just going to go.
That'll be your excitement?
To do the opposite, yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, the first one was written specifically for me. You didn't say that, but I decided it was. And this is from Kara, and it's fine to use their name. And it says, a shadow man shook some ass on my stairs.
As soon as we saw this one, I was like, that's for Ash.
I said, thank you.
That is for Ash.
All right, so let's start our... Already ruined it. Let's start off by saying I'm not sure if my house, 101 years old, built during Prohibition, is actually haunted or just something that things pass through. I have distinct memories during my childhood of blinds shooting closed on their own, and then periods of time where things were normal. The biggest and spookiest set of ghostly happenings happened about 4 years ago during my senior year of high school, right around Halloween. Throughout October. Things ramped up over time. It started one night when I was up late working on a class project. My twin brother came in and told me he was going to go to bed and walked out of the kitchen where I was. A few minutes later, I heard the distinct sound of the footrest of our recliner being snapped down. So I assumed it's my bro, and he sat back down for a sec, and wait, nothing, no one, just me, and panic shit that suddenly spawned and due to my fear. I go and check. Yep, He'd gone to bed 10 minutes prior when he told me, cool, cool, cool. I was totally fine having a ghost to chill in my living room and return to my project. If I don't address it, it'll stop, right?
That's how all problems in life work.
Wrong.
You don't address it, it'll just go away.
Wrong. The next week, I'm at our side door about to walk out to the car where my brother was waiting to go meet our parents for dinner. And as I open the door, I hear something sprinting through the kitchen toward me.
No.
I make terrified eye contact
Nope.
with my brother that clearly conveyed my inner monologue of, holy shit, I'm about to shuffle off this mortal coil without my consent because some invisible boogeyman is going to run me down right now, before I finally came to my senses and slammed the house door. Somehow, this still didn't spookify me too badly. I'll just keep ignoring it and it'll go away.
Yes.
Nope. Wrong again. Some time passes. It's now the very end of October, if my memory serves correct. Buckle up, my spooky bitches. This is where shit got real.
I thought shit already got real.
I kind of felt that way too, yeah. Well, when I told my roommates this story, we slept with the lights on for 2 days. I need to describe the way my family's house is laid out for you to clearly visualize what comes next. I was about to laugh my hat off at you.
I'm gonna laugh my hat off.
Or maybe I'm so scared that my hat just popped off.
She's not gonna laugh her ass off. She's gonna laugh her hat
I'm gonna
off.
laugh my hat off. Well, our kitchen had a back staircase that links up to the main staircase. It's super steep and runs right up to the dishwasher, so we don't use it. It's just storage space for kitchen It's just a storage space for kitchen appliances and beverages.
Some beverages, you say.
I love a beverage.
We love a beverage.
Can I side note really quick? When me and Drew first got like a home of our own, what the main thing he said to me that he wanted to do, he said, our house has to be a beverage house. And I was like, what's a beverage house? And he said, I always want to have like a bunch of different beverages.
And you do.
And we do. We are a beverage house. Yeah, it was very important to him.
Dream realized. I opened your refrigerator the other day and I said, oh my God, the beverages.
Oh my God, yeah.
The variety.
If anybody wants to sponsor us, we have Alani, we have Olipop, we have Poppies. We don't discriminate between the good for your tummy sodas. We have Gatorade for Drew. We have orange juice most of the time. We have seltzers for the Mikeys. We have LaCroix. We have
LaCroix, sorry.
Yeah, it's LaCroix.
I thought it was LaCroix.
I think it's a debate. Oh, I have an itch on my face. I have an itch on my face.
Do this. You do this.
Oh, I want to like smack it, but that doesn't work either. I'm just gonna lightly tap it. It's really not helping. It's not helping. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's on this side. Can you blow on it?
I don't want to blow coffee breath on you.
I don't care. Blow on it. Blow on it. Hold on. Oh, okay, that worked. Thank you. Please leave that in. Anyway, this took a hard turn. So our kitchen has a back stair. Oh, nobody said that. Beverages. So the base of those... oh, yes. Excuse me. Beverages. The base of those stairs is directly adjacent to the countertop that has the dishwasher, the oven, and the sink. So I'm at the sink washing some pans from dinner late at night. I'm the last one awake. Out of my peripheral vision to the left, I can clearly see that staircase. It's dark, obviously, as everyone's asleep. I shit you not, my heart ceased to beat as I see a figure at the top of that back staircase. I freeze, sudsy hands up and all, and hold my breath for a second. Out of the corner of my eye, I clearly see a very tall shadow figure.
She spied with her little eye.
Bent down with his... No, this cannot be real. I know it is, but with his hands on his knees, ass stuck out, head cocked all the way to the side to stare at me. He is in full twerking position, ready to shake some ass like a teen at a prom in front of all their teachers and chaperones. But he has his spooky head tilt. like head turned to the side and cocked so he could get a good look at little old me.
Hands on the knees, but like
He said, hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thought shit. Post me a pic. I can't laugh.
I'm just letting it go. You saw it.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm just letting it go. I'm like, if it cracks, it cracks.
If it cracks, it cracks.
Saw it. It was good at first.
Well, I was not cool with being perceived by this spooky shadow bastard.
I did not want to be perceived.
I did not want to be perceived. And definitely not cool with his spooky ass shaking stance. Side note, I know I sounded like some cool, brave badass who totally wasn't afraid, but homies, I was about 3 seconds away from melting into a puddle of fear and evicting myself from the property immediately.
I don't blame you. I
turn to confirm what I'm seeing and it's gone. I love that somebody just came to shake ass with you in the afterlife.
That's my favorite. He didn't even shake ass. He just got in the position.
He got ready to shake ass, but then he knew.
He was trying to see if you were ready. And like he was doing what the ghosties were doing in the Amityville Horror. They were like, "Are you ready for a dance-off?" Like the marching band. I think they were literally like, "Are you ready for it?" And you said, "Huh!" And he was like, "You're not ready for it." He just got out.
He knew you weren't ready for his twerking abilities.
He would have gotten off.
It was about to earthquake in there.
Let's go. He would have been like, okay, let's go.
You should have shook ass with him. I don't know how to twerk, but you could have figured it out in the moment. I would have.
I believe in you.
I would have. I've literally watched TikTok videos to learn how to twerk.
Yes, I do know that about you.
And I can't do it. So if anybody wants to help me out, call me. Don't call me, but like DM me. DM me and teach me how to twerk.
Call me, beat me
if you want to teach me how to twerk.
If you want to teach me how to twerk.
Because I love Meg Thee Stallion, and she has so many great songs to shake ass to. But
doesn't she do that like thing?
Yep. Exactly.
I don't want to put my tongue out and get black all over it.
You gotta just like stick it to the front.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Oh, I have to do it?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, I don't want to... Hold on.
Ready?
Because I have sparkles on my lips.
1, 2, 3. Yeah! I love it. Okay. All right, so I know for a fact this wasn't it's Halloween, guys. Have some fun.
Tales.
I know for a fact this wasn't some trick of the light or my imagination. This was a solid figure. Enough so that I was 100% positive one of my siblings was playing a prank on me and just standing there to scare me. But now there was nothing there. So I finished washing my dishes and went to bed, forcing myself not to run when I hit the landing on the stairs where he had been. Very cool, casual, mindful of me.
Very demure.
Very demure, very cutesy of you. Weirdly enough, after all that, things stopped for a while. My younger sister started to experience things, though. Like her foot being yanked while sleeping at night after I went away to college.
No.
I try not to think of that when I visit home in our shared room. But that's the tale. Now most of my friends refuse to come to my family home. Oh, I'd come.
You're like, I'm there, girl.
I'm there. I'll go shake ass with that ghost once I learn how to twerk.
Yeah.
And your friends are scared to come due to a fear that this spooky twerking tool is still on my stairs. I try hard not to think of him when I'm the last one up at night, but he hasn't bothered me since. Maybe I ignored him for long enough that he skedaddled off to haunt someone else. Mm-hmm. Keep it weird, but not so weird that... I have to call you out, Kara. Not so weird that you don't shake ass with the ghost on your stairs.
Kara, I understand that was a scary situation because, like, yeah.
Totally.
But if a ghost or a demon is trying to have a dance-off with you...
You gotta show him what your mama gave you.
Yeah,
you gotta shake what your mama gave you.
You do.
You have to shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Precisely.
So.
You really need to.
But you know what? I probably would have been scared too and ran out of my house, so...
I would have been too.
That's my real me talking.
So
tough me is like, I don't know, I would have thrown ass.
I would have thrown ass with that time.
Miles.
Wow, Kara, I love that.
See, that was my spooky clown laugh again. I didn't even mean to do it. Oh, I don't like that.
I like it.
Don't show this to Drew. I think he would leave.
John, I sent a picture to him because he was picking up the girls from school. And he just said, "My God."
And then she said, when you sent the picture of you and Tobias.
I sent a picture of this and I said, "Twins." And he said, "Totes my goats."
Totes my goats.
And I was like, "You're going to be scared when I come downstairs."
Drew said, "Oh, you a cute little sad clown." But I think if he heard me laugh like that, he would not.
He would say, "You're a scary little sad clown."
He would say, "Get out of my presence."
So my next listener tale is called Halloween Listener Tale, My Ghostly Ex-Boyfriend and a New Orleans Psychic.
Oh no, Debbie said this is a beautiful tale, but it might make you cry.
Oh shit.
I can't cry. I'm already crying.
Oh, no, Deb. This is from Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
I've been watching old episodes of Southern Charm, and there's a Chelsea on
there.
Oh,
I loved Chelsea.
Yeah, and the really terrible Ashley girl was like Chelsea when she was trying to explain why she was a dick.
Ashley.
Chelsea. All right, my name is Chelsea. She blocked me on Twitter. Who did?
Ashley.
Oh, she blocked you on Twitter.
She blocked me on Twitter. Yeah.
That's hardcore.
I know.
So this is, my name is Chelsea. And as I mentioned above, I'm a Louisiana girl. Hey, Chelsea.
Hey.
Born in and raised just north of New Orleans. I was raised Catholic. And while I no longer identify as religious, I would say I am still quite spiritual. My Catholic upbringing has left a few imprints on who I am as a person, and namely a deep-seated belief in a higher power, whatever you want to call him or her, something greater than ourselves, a strong conviction that there is more to this world and the next than we see, and or an understanding and an openness to signs and messages from the other side.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
actually love that. I
Yeah.
think that's a beautiful belief system.
That's pretty much exactly what I believe.
Yeah. I don't believe that I'm psychic or clairvoyant in any way, but I've always felt a closeness or openness to messages from loved ones who have passed on. And I could write another 2 or 3 listener tales just with stories of interactions with my grandma. Mama! After her passing. Okay, so.
Please write those stories.
Yeah, I gotta hear about Mama.
Mama.
More than 10 years ago, I moved to Houston, Texas after grad school to take a job and start building my career. While living in Houston, I met and started dating a nice Greek boy named Teddy.
Oh.
We love Teddy. Teddy was, and still to this day is, the kindest person I have ever met. Good, because I was like, we love Teddy. And then I was like, do we love Teddy?
I know, I got
Or do
a
I
little
have
bit
to fight
nervous.
Teddy? But I'm glad I don't have to fight Teddy.
We would have squared up for you, Chelsea.
We would have. But you know what, Teddy? Good job.
Hey, Teddy.
Once, upon introducing Teddy to a group of my friends, one of my friends asked me how it felt to be the worst person in the relationship.
Oh, you know, we're all out there. We're all out there somewhere. I'm the worst person in the relationship. Are you the worst person in the relationship?
Probably.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
I was like, yeah, don't lie.
I think you're right.
We're
You're
the
right.
worst.
You know what? So here we are.
Ones.
Here we are. That's awesome. He was joking, but he was 100% right. Whatever traits I imagine God uses to judge the goodness of a person, selflessness, loyalty, patience, etc., Teddy was off the charts in all of them.
Yep, that's John,
Teddy
and
for
that's
life.
Drew, and
That
that's
is.
Teddy.
After dating for about a year, I woke up one morning to find Teddy having a full-blown seizure beside me. Holy shit, the turn.
Yeah, that took a quick left.
After months of testing, doctor's visits, and additional seizures, always at night and always in his sleep, we would find a brain tumor lodged in his right temporal lobe. We quickly scheduled surgery, and the tumor was removed successfully and identified as benign.
Oh, good.
But unfortunately, the seizures continued, and when they did, I was always the only person there, since they only happened at night while we were sleeping.
Oh, that's so
He lived with them.
overwhelming.
I can't imagine that. I really can't.
No, you're an angel.
He lived with them and managed his condition with medication as best as he could. I'm a strong believer that just because something isn't forever doesn't mean it wasn't real.
I
My
agree.
relationship with Teddy is an example of this. After almost 3.5 years together, life was pulling the two of us in different directions. We broke up and went our separate ways, both sad, but with nothing but love and respect in our hearts for one another. I moved back to Louisiana, and he stayed in Texas. The fact that you still say he's like one of the most kind people you've ever met is like such a mature relationship.
It really is.
Fast forward a year and a half, and I was dating the man who, spoiler alert, is now my husband, David. Hey, David!
Day.
We were on our first... Day.
Day.
We were on our...
I just nicknamed your husband for you.
All right. We were on our first big trip as a couple in Mexico when I received a phone call from my best friend back in Houston. Oh, no, my heart is about to
Oh,
sink.
no.
When I answered, she asked to speak to my boyfriend. It struck me as weird, but I handed over the phone. When David hung up, I knew exactly that something was wrong. David then had the devastating task of telling me that Teddy was gone. Oh, no. He had passed in his sleep as a result of a seizure. He had been alone.
Oh. That's awful.
I'll tell you one thing, ladies. It takes a strong man to watch the woman he loves grieve openly and savagely over another man, but he did.
That's
David for
another
life.
good one.
David for life.
Another great one.
He held me while I sobbed and screamed and blamed myself. If I had only been there, if we hadn't broken up, I could have saved him. When I told him I didn't know what to do with myself or my thoughts, he asked me to tell him about Teddy. What a human.
I got a full body.
Like, what an amazing man. We spent that entire night talking about my ex-boyfriend, with David giving me all the space and support I needed to not crumble into oblivion. I knew after that night that I would marry David. Hell yeah, you did. That's awesome. Whew, okay. You're probably like, bitch, get to the spooky part, which is exactly what I'm doing now, but you needed the background context.
Fair,
We did,
fair
and I
enough.
appreciate you telling us.
Yeah.
The months following Teddy's death were weird, heavy. It sounds insane, but I could feel him.
That doesn't
sound
sound
insane at all. Strange things were happening in my house. Never threatening or scary, but I could feel his presence. Lights would flicker. An untouched book on my bookshelf became mysteriously dog-eared to a particularly meaningful passage.
That's beautiful.
Damn.
Elena would be so mad.
She
literally won't let me borrow her books because I dog ear the pages.
It's true. I don't dog-ear pages. I can't handle it.
You're insane.
I'm a bookmark girly.
She is.
I like my books to be in the right condition.
I think they look well loved if they've been dog eared a lot.
No.
It's a great debate.
I was going to say, it's a great personal debate.
We'll do a poll.
Yeah, we will. Except I might lose that one.
I don't know.
One time when I had a fever and chills, my AC broke, making my house a toasty 83 degrees. Oh, I would die.
That's horrible.
Once my fever broke and the chills went away, the AC turned back on like nothing had happened. It's just like Teddy to be taking care of someone from the afterlife.
Wow.
Halloween night of that year.
Halloween.
I happened to be back in Houston on a business trip. I was invited to celebrate with some of my and Teddy's mutual friends and headed over to their house for dinner. That night, a wicked thunderstorm came rolling through Houston, knocking out the power at their house, and generally upping the spook factor, since we were now dining by candlelight. All through the evening, our host had music playing in the background via her phone. At some point, her phone stopped working, and try as she might, the music would not come back on. We chalked it up to the storm messing with service, and continued our conversation in silence for another 30 minutes or so. Eventually, as we knew it would, the conversation turned to Teddy. As the storm continued to rage, we discussed how much we all missed him, and agreed on the general tragedy of the situation. I confessed the guilt I was carrying around, how if we hadn't broken up, I would have likely been there to intervene. I told them about the weird experiences I was having in my house, and that's when our host's phone started playing music again, on its own.
Stop it.
A completely different song and genre than it had been earlier. The song was a newer one I had heard in passing, but never really listened to the lyrics. Until that moment. We all sat in silence while the song played, each listening to the words and listening at each other looking at each other with wide eyes. It was Happier by Bastille. I love Bastille.
Oh my God, I have goosebumps.
If you're unfamiliar, the lyrics are, to paraphrase, "Lately I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. Even though I might not like this, I want you to be happier. And so that means I'll have to leave."
Oh my God, my goosebumps have goosebumps.
I felt that.
Holy shit.
The song is about a couple who is breaking up because they know what's best for them, even though they are heartbroken, with the guy acknowledging that he's going to walk away so that she can be happier. Oh. Everyone in I'm like about to cry.
Literally.
Everyone in the room was looking at me, some with goosebumps on their arms, some with tears in their eyes. And it was clear that they were all interpreting the same message as I was. Teddy was telling me that it was okay, that he heard me, that he didn't blame me, and that he was going to back off with the ghosty shit since it was freaking me out a bit. LOL. I immediately felt a weight lift off my shoulders. After that night, I did not feel his presence around me anymore. I felt that he had moved on to wherever he was supposed to be. I didn't hear from him again until 2 years later, in October 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, David and I were engaged and tentatively planning our wedding. Thanks, COVID.
Oh.
My spooky, witchy bachelorette extravaganza, which was originally planned in Salem, Massachusetts. Oh, it had to be canceled due to travel restrictions.
Oh.
So plan B was a bachelorette Halloween here in Louisiana, which is still fucking cool.
I think that might even be better.
Yeah. Complete with outdoor, social distancing, friendly activities for a small group of my closest friends. One of these activities was hiring a real-life French Quarter psychic medium to come read tarot cards for us as part of our glamp out at our farm north of NOLA. Oh my God, this is the coolest shit. Why didn't you invite me, Chelsea?
Why didn't you invite us?
The open air was a good setting for group activities, and the sweeping live oaks were an excellent backdrop for some witchery.
I'm obsessed.
I feel so cozy just thinking about that.
It feels like a book.
The psychic began by reading tarot for everyone in attendance, and this lady was the real deal. As in, I sat down and was crying with the first 3 sentences out of her mouth.
Aww.
First thing she said to me before even touching the cards was, "Your people on the other side are very loud. They're telling me that you're worried you won't be able to have children. And they're telling me that that's not going to be a problem. It will happen almost immediately."
Oh my God.
This woman did not know me. She had no way of knowing that I've known since I was 16 that I have a condition that could impact my fertility. And that knowledge had hung over me like a dark cloud every day of my life. Spoiler alert, she was correct.
So you didn't have any issue. That's amazing.
What's wild too, that's weird that you had that like feeling that you were worried about it. I also had that feeling from a very young age.
Yeah.
And it's like I knew it and I did have trouble.
I know.
It's wild. But then I got my babies. Now, after reading tarot, she transitioned into a mediumship session where she opened herself up to messages from the other side. After a few messages for some of my friends, all of which were scarily accurate, she suddenly said, "I'm feeling the presence of a young man, and he's showing me a teddy bear with a T on it."
Oh.
I immediately went cold. Teddy's last name started with a T. and one of his nicknames was Teddy T.
Stop it.
She proceeded to tell me that he sees everything happening in your life and he's so happy for you. He supported my marriage. He likes David. She also added, he wants you to know that there's nothing you could have done to prevent what happened to him. Even if you had been there, it was over so quickly and he wasn't scared or in pain.
Oh, that must have been like such a weight off your shoulders again.
Seriously. She finally said he wants you to know that you are the love of his life and he's so grateful for that.
I'm gonna sob right now.
Literally.
I had to close my eyes so that they wouldn't start forming tears.
It's like actual tears.
Yes.
Let me tell you the sobs that left my body.
Yeah.
It truly felt like the most beautiful gift of closure.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was okay, knowing that he was happy and happy for me. It's an experience that has stuck with me and will be with me forever. I now see Teddy as one of my guardian angels, up there conspiring with my mama and papa.
Oh, mama.
Watching over me and my beautiful growing family. David and I did indeed get pregnant almost immediately after our wedding.
Oh.
Our son was born 2 days after our first anniversary, and we are currently expecting our second son.
Yes, Squirrely.
Chelsea. David continues to be an amazingly supportive partner and father to our children.
Aww.
We still talk about Teddy, remember his birthday every year, and we travel up to New England together to attend Teddy's sister's wedding a few years ago, where he bonded with Teddy's dad and stayed up until 4 a.m. drinking with Teddy's best friends.
That's amazing.
David's
I love
my
that.
favorite person ever.
David rocks.
David now loves Teddy's family as much as I do, and we try to see them regularly. His family will be a part of our children's lives, and I plan to share his story with my sons when they are old enough to understand.
I think this is the most beautiful,
Literally the most
listener
beautiful
tale
thing
we've ever received.
Truly. I hope they see it as an example of finding a beautiful silver lining around life's darkest clouds. Proof that people come into our lives for a reason, and that not all love stories end with forever. Some love stories end in this world, but go on into the next. And I hope they see their father as an example of an incredible emotional maturity, a paragon of non-toxic masculinity, and an illustration of the kind of supportive partner they should strive to be one day.
Wow.
Yes!
Amazing.
All of it, yes.
Amazing.
Thank you if you've made it this far into reading this rather lengthy novella. We can't all be best-selling novelists, Elena. I love you. But I felt this story had to be extracted from the inside of my head and put to paper. I have attached some pictures to this email so you can put some faces with names and add some color to the story.
Oh, why are you all so beautiful?
You and Teddy are the cutest things I've ever seen.
And so are you and David and your child.
David and your baby.
Wow.
Oh. And they made it to Salem last year, and you got to go to the Ropes Mansion. You got to go to Allison's house.
Stop it.
I love it.
Oh my god, these are great
And your
pictures.
papas. Winona and Reba.
Winona and Reba?
Winona and Reba.
Not sad, just sleepy.
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
Chelsea, that story was one of the most beautiful stories we have had in Listener Tales, so thank you for that.
Gorge, gorge, gorge.
You and David forever. Teddy forever.
I'm going to remember that story forever.
Yeah, that was an amazing story. Thank you for
Aw.
sending that.
It was beautiful. All right, my next one is Listener Tale, Trick or Treat, or Clowns.
I love it.
Heyo. All right, I can't open it because I'm silly. Yes, I can. This is from Megan.
Megan.
Megan. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh. She did it! Now we'll work on the head tilt next.
Yeah, the tilt.
Wow, that just made me really happy. All right. To properly tell this story, I got so Boston there.
To properly tell this
rubbing
story.
off on me. What were you saying today that you like couldn't
poltergeist.
Poltergeist. She couldn't stop saying poltergeist. All right, to properly tell this story, I need to start with the setting. This happened in 2014 on the spookiest day of the year. 1, 2, 3. Halloween! My family had moved about an hour away from our old house in 2013. The new neighborhood we moved to was known for Halloween, so much that people drove to trick or treat there. We're even more known for Christmas, which leads to a lot of traffic during the holidays. But everybody passed out candy and loads of people decorated. To give some perspective, we would buy a bag of candy every single time we went shopping in September and October, just to have enough to pass out before the night ended, and sometimes that wasn't even enough.
Wow.
I want to go to there.
I do too.
At the time of this particular Halloween, I was about 11, and my older sister Erin was around 12, so we were still at the age where trick-or-treating was something we looked forward to. We invited my sister's best friend, who lived an hour away, to spend the night trick-or-treating with us since the neighborhood was so known for being the spot to go. Naturally, we had to coordinate costumes, or what was the point? Erin and her best friend were Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but instead of fat suits, they wore tutus and suspenders.
I love that.
I love that. That's great. I was Alice and wore a little blue dress with a white apron and had a black bow tied in my hair. Adorable. We all looked very cute and unassuming, which
Very
is
cutesy.
very demure, very mindful, which is probably why we looked like easy targets that night.
Uh-oh.
I'm scared. Now, to understand what happened, I'm going to give you a quick and simple layout of the neighborhood. We lived near the end of a long street that connected to 2 major streets in the neighborhood. Keep in mind that we had moved there recently and weren't super familiar with the area. However, it was very safe, and my mom, who always supervised us outside, thought it was fine for the 3 of us to go alone while she stayed and passed out candy. She helped us pick an easy route of 3 streets that formed a triangle. We would walk on the main street close to our house and then take a turn onto a street parallel to ours. From there, we would turn onto the other main street that connected to the one we lived on just to make our way back. Even though this was a safe neighborhood and the route was simple, I was pretty terrified to go alone. We had never done that before, let alone in a new neighborhood. I was always the child who could hardly bear to be out of sight of an adult. That's literally your middle.
Yeah.
My sister, on the other hand, relished in the opportunity to have no supervision, and she and her friend were excited. Your oldest.
Yep.
The night started off pretty normal. It was still light out when we left, but by the time we had gotten to the second main road, it was dark. We amassed a good amount of candy by that point, and were about to turn back onto our street. However, this is when things got a little strange. As we were about to turn back onto the street, from the corner of my eye, I saw a lone trick-or-treater across the street. He was dressed in all black clothing and wore a Halloween clown mask that covered his whole face. Scary.
I don't like that.
This by itself wasn't unusual, but what was strange is that he didn't have a bag to hold candy.
Oh, yeah, no.
Instead, he had a baseball bat.
Nope.
I thought to myself, that's odd. Huh. But he was on the other side of the road, so it wasn't a problem. Well, actually, it was a problem, because pretty soon after noticing this person, I realized he wasn't alone. Trailing behind us was another person in all black and wearing that same clown Halloween mask, and it obscured his whole face. This person didn't have a bat, but instead was simply dragging a golf club along the sidewalk behind him.
What the fuck?
Where is any help?
What's happening?
I'm scared.
Mom, pick me up. I'm scared.
The rest all happened very quickly. It was dark, and I don't know where they came from, but in the blink of an eye, the 2 people turned into 3, then 4, then 5, then suddenly 10 people were dispersed around the street.
What the fuck?
All wore the same clown masks and had bats or golf clubs. The ones on the other side of the street crossed the road and came towards us. At the same time, the ones on the street got closer to us and started forming a circle.
No.
We were surrounded. There were at least 3 on each side to the left and right of us, a few behind us and 1 in front. They were dragging their clubs and banging their bats on the concrete.
Ew, what assholes.
Like, truly.
Like, fuck you
Get
guys.
a life. What is particularly strange and something I do not understand to this day is that the street was empty. I was thinking that this whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, where is everybody?
Was there an adult to help you? This was the most popular neighborhood to trick-or-treat in. However, besides these strange boys and the looming darkness, we were the only ones on that street.
Was this some like weird elaborate hazing ritual that your neighborhood had?
Oh my god, maybe. That'd be kind
That they were
of
like,
fucking
welcome
awesome.
to the neighborhood.
We're gonna scare the shit
We want
out
to see
of
if
you.
you can fucking hang.
Were they just waiting for someone to walk by when the street was clear? Were they
Yeah.
hiding? Did they have some sort of signal?
Yeah.
However, the answers to these questions were irrelevant because the reality was they were getting closer by the second. If I reached out, I could touch one before my arm was even fully straightened.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too much in my personal space.
Yeah, of course it is.
Get out of my fucking bubble.
No, get out of my fucking bubble.
Like, get out.
I remember how I said that I was scared to go and my sister wasn't?
Yes.
This is where that shifts. Erin and her friend, who were in front of me, slowed down and came closer to me. We were all frazzled with a look silently asked each other, what do we do? For some reason, that eludes me to this day. The dominant emotion that I was feeling wasn't fear, but anger. Looking back, I should have approached the situation with more caution, but I was pretty pissed.
I would be too.
I kind of love that you were pissed.
Yeah.
In my mind, these had to be neighborhood boys picking on the little girls wearing tutus and dresses.
Exactly.
And just trying to scare them.
So fuck them.
So I immediately decided that if they were going to try to get a rise out of us, the best thing we could do was not give them one.
Yeah.
I whispered to my friend, my sister and her friend, keep walking.
Yeah.
And we did.
Good for
What
you.
they didn't know was that we were on the street we lived on, so we just had to outlast them. Unfortunately for us, they kept walking too.
What? Oh, I want to junk punch
Every single
these
one
little
of them.
fucks so hard.
And hit
for
them
you.
with their golf clubs.
Yeah. Like, ugh.
It almost looked like a security detail for a celebrity, except, the fact that they were threatening us.
Except a very weird one.
Yeah, it's kind of like paparazzi, actually. In a situation like that, logic is the first thing we abandon. We certainly had cell phones and could have called for help, but we just kept walking. Besides, even if we got our phones out, they were close enough to just grab them. After what felt like several minutes, but I'm sure was only a moment, I switched tactics. I must have heard this from some television show, but I turned to the closest one on my left and said in the most intimidating voice an 11-year... Sorry. I said in the most intimidating voice an 11-year-old girl dressed as Alice in Wonderland could muster, "I will cut you."
Oh my God.
I'm obsessed.
I will cut you.
Honestly, I would have ran.
Honestly, I would get the fuck out of there.
I'd be like, I believe it.
I believe it.
Because anybody dressed as Alice in Wonderland
saying I will cut you right in their face.
That's scary.
Yeah. You did the right thing.
I will cut you.
That's right.
She said, "This is embarrassing, but I hope it makes you laugh."
It did.
It's not embarrassing. You should not be embarrassed. It's
proud.
Iconic. I needed them to know that we were not scared and what they were doing wasn't working, so they should just give up. It didn't deter these boys, but it served to lend confidence.
Get a life.
Get a life. It didn't deter these boys, but it served to lend confidence to my sister and her friend. They continued to walk, and when they got close to the masked person in the front, they just pushed him out of the way. With our heads up, but not making eye contact, we continued because what else was there to do, really?
Yeah.
We could start to see other trick-or-treaters in the distance. Our luck changed then, and just as quickly as they came, these masked boys were gone without a trace. What?
They just left?
They just, poofed into the air?
So they just menaced you?
And then left?
And then left? Fuck them.
Don't ruin somebody's Halloween like that.
I'll find them.
I will, and we'll junk punch every single one of them.
Dressed like this.
How scary would that be? That would show them.
Clown meet clown.
Clown meet clown. Are you ready?
I love it.
The dread was replaced by a flood of relief, and we were safe again. After that, I don't think we resumed trick-or-treating and just went home for the night.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know, I'm sorry.
I understand it,
but that's continue. A bummer. We did tell my mom what happened while we were trading candy in the kitchen. She wasn't thrilled that we engaged with them, but wasn't too worried. It did sink in later that night, to me at least, how that situation could have gone so differently.
Yeah.
I can't say I was particularly traumatized, but that was the last year I went trick-or-treating. Oh, that makes me sad.
You were 11?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me really sad.
Dude, I was 15 when I stopped trick-or-treating.
Oh.
I got to the point where people were like, "We're not giving you candy
We're not,
anymore.
you're
too old for this." Yeah. However, Halloween remains my favorite holiday, and I celebrate it every year.
Good.
Thank you for reading this, and I hope everyone keeps it weird, but not so weird that you surround children and try to scare them by banging baseball bats and golf clubs, because that's just not cool. P.S. I retold the story to my mom as I was writing this, and she seemed confused and said, "Was it really that bad? Didn't some boys just follow you?" I suppose that when we told her at the time, we left out a lot of details.
I guess.
And when I recounted it like this, she was appalled. She somehow didn't know about the weapons or the clown masks and said that if she did know that, she would have been on the hunt for these boys' parents.
Okay.
Oops.
I knew that had to be a missing link there.
Yes.
Because I was like, if my kids come home and tell me that a bunch of boys with weapons and clown masks surrounded them.
Can I interrupt you? I know exactly what you would do. She would do.
Yep.
Whenever Elena's mad, she always crunches. Ready? And it's always so good.
And that would be, I'd be like, we're off. I'd be like, we're going. Ladies, stay at home. And I'd be like, Mama and Dada are going to go.
Call TT, I'm going.
We're going to go make some friends out in the neighborhood.
Oh, I would.
And then we would never see those boys again. Like, when I tell you, like, the rage I had for you in that moment, I wanted to fucking strangle these boys.
That's just so unnecessary.
Don't ruin someone's Halloween. No. Halloween's supposed to be fun, and people need to consent in being scared. Don't be a dick.
Be cool. Don't be all, uncool.
Don't do that. And definitely don't fucking scare kids. Like, what the hell?
Get a life.
Let them live.
Like we said.
She's dressed as Alice in Wonderland.
I know.
Like, let her live. Go. Ugh.
They did their costumes together for this.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by them.
That don't impress me much.
If you're listening, boys who did that, I'm not impressed.
Oh, they're not listening because they are not this cool.
No, they're not.
They're
not this cool.
They're not this cool.
They're not.
This is so cool.
They're not on this level.
Cosplay equals cool.
Are you on the level? No.
No, you're not.
The answer is no.
You could never be.
So my next one, first of all, love you. So sad that happened to you. All right, mine is entitled, How I Thought I Was Going to Be Killed by a Paper Mache Mask Wearing Psycho.
Whoa.
And it's by B. Hi,
Bee. I love that name.
And it says, like the bumble.
Like the bumble.
It says, hello, lovely ladies of all that 'tis dark, weird, and spoopy. My name is Bee, like the bumble. A family nickname which you are more than welcome to use, as I consider you and all other weirdos listening as family. I love that.
You are our family.
I discovered your absolute gift of a podcast at the beginning of 2022, and it has kept me laughing through many a commute and hard times. Seriously, you guys remind me so much of me and my sister, which is a huge comfort since we live on opposite sides of the Pacific. Damn.
Oh, I could never live
I know,
that
I
far
could
away
never.
from you.
Thank
One time
you.
I was going to move to New York and we just couldn't even handle it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Thank you for all you do. You two are delights. Never change your badass bitchin' ways. I love it.
We won't.
Total side note. Ash, I'm a Libra. So is Mikey.
Mikey's a Libra.
Which makes us air sign besties.
We are air sign besties.
I can't really decide how to segue from that to my story, but here we go. I'm not a writer like Elena. Cue Ash sharing the link to The Butcher and the Wren.
tinyurl.com/The Butcher and the Wren. I don't know if that still exists. Don't go there.
But it's there. Congrats, Elena. Can't wait to read it. Update. I got it all downloaded on my Kindle and ready to go, so I hope this is not too convoluted.
God,
Thank you so much. Be for life. The tale begins 5 years ago on Halloween. I know I'm writing and sending you this in July, but the spirit store that lives in my heart can no longer be contained in this withered summer husk of a body any longer.
I'm obsessed with you.
I've never related to a sentence more.
Truly.
In a small town on Japan's southernmost and largest island, I hope I say this right, Kyushu?
Kyushu?
I believe it's Kyushu.
Yeah.
I will leave out the prefecture in town, as I still live here and don't want to cause any potential embarrassment for parties involved. I will call it Goldfish Town, because as the nickname may suggest, it is famous for breeding around 30 different varieties of goldfish. Woot woot, Goldfish Town represent!
That's really cool and random.
Awesome.
That's the funnest fact.
So a bit of background. The first time I came to live in Japan, I was working as an ALLLL, assistant language teacher. I worked at 2 elementary schools and 1 middle school, helping teach English in the classroom. In the classroom. It was a wonderful experience and such a privilege working with the students and teachers.
Oh.
Goldfish Town always had 2 ALLLLs, and we split the schools as there was a total of 2 middle schools and 4 elementary schools. There was some quick maths for you ladies, which I will not be doing again. The ALLLL apartments were literally right next to each other, so me and the other ALLLL, codename E, were super besties. We always hung out, shared meals, had many a laughs and a cries in each other's apartment. She is still a bestie to this day. A ride or die bitch, which you'll definitely see in this story. A final person to mention is our supervisor, nom de plume. Spelling French? I loved it.
Nom de plume.
Okay, the sweetest woman alive, and who we literally referred to as our Japanese mother.
Oh.
She's super kind and friendly and always made sure we were looked after. Nom de plume.
Mama.
Okay, so let's get into the dirty deets. What happened on Halloween 5 nights ago?
Do tell.
5 years ago.
What happened on Halloween 5 nights ago?
That makes no sense. I just got white on my finger.
Oh, no.
Halloween in Japan is more of an adult holiday. Going out drinking, going to costume parties, which is fun, but we don't get little ghoulies and goblins running up to our doors screaming for the sweets or else threatening tricks.
I kind of love that, actually.
See, I need the trick-or-treaters.
No, I love the trick-or-treaters, but I hate driving on Halloween night because I get so nervous.
Yeah, I just won't.
Well, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just won't.
Yeah.
Our apartments were on the 2nd floor in buildings facing each other, a literal minute walk and a lot of huffing upstairs. This Halloween, we had both planned quiet evenings. Me at home reading cozy mysteries for my October mystery readathon, drinking cocoa, the nectar of fall, and E at the gym being a ripped goddess. I love how different both of your evenings
Amazing.
were. We didn't have any plans to meet up that night. And other than E, anyone else coming to my door is a big, it's going to be a no from me, dog moment. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Our apartments were around 20 years old, but thankfully had a modern doorbell system camera where there was when someone rang the doorbell, I could see who it was on the screen in my kitchen. Foreshadowing.
Well, that's cool.
Quite handy for dodging the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes, they're out here. No shade, just as I said. I'm a millennial hermit crab who wants to chill in her shell in peace.
Oh, I feel that.
So I'm home alone at my kitchen table drinking cocoa, enjoying my book, feeling the holy Halloween spirit when the doorbell rings. Knowing it's E, I think maybe I was getting some trick-or-treaters.
Not E.
Oh, excuse me. Knowing it's not E, sorry. I can't read.
How dare you?
I have a contact in. Knowing it's not E, I think maybe I was getting some trick-or-treaters, panicking that I would have to share some of my time of the month, all the month stash chocolate with them. But what I see freezes my blood. On the screen, is a person. I can't tell the gender as their clothes are baggy, and the fact that they are wearing a large papier-mâché, spelling French again, you did great, head. The head has painted on wide staring blue eyes, a small neutral mouth slightly open, and dark brown hair parted to the side. Very serial killer style.
I hate it.
Very not cutesy.
Very not demure.
I stop breathing because I'm afraid whatever is on the other side of the door will hear me. The doorbell rings again, and I can see the head move closer to the door cam like it's looking through the peephole.
Get the fuck off my property.
I slowly slide over to the table where I left my phone. After grabbing it, I wait until my little door cam goes dark and I hear footsteps recede down the stairs outside. I think I stood there for a good 5 minutes, my ears straining to hear anything, but feeling like the whole world is silent and only I exist.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. You are a writer.
Yeah.
I run back to the screen to take a picture of the figure to send to E, telling her not to worry, I'm alive, but this thing was at my doorstep, and if she could come back from the gym, I would love her forever. Like the true queen she is, she immediately called me saying she'd be there in 15 minutes and to stay put with a knife in hand. Next, I messaged our supervisor, Kay, the photo. Now I know. At this point, you guys are all screaming to call the police.
I was kind of thinking it in my head a little bit.
I was.
But I wasn't judging you yet.
I wasn't. But honestly, I didn't know what constituted an emergency in Japan. Valid.
Fair enough.
And where my Japanese is conversational, how do I explain that a soul-sucking papier-mâché demon stood outside my door? Valid.
Hard things.
Yeah. Kay also called immediately and said she and her husband were on their way over. Thankfully, they live 5 minutes away, so I didn't wait long to get a message saying they were coming up. And I will never forget them coming up the stairs. If I hadn't been so scared at the time, I would have laughed. Kay, my 5-foot-tall supervisor, is running up the stairs calling for me, followed by her 6'3" husband, cigarette dangling cavalierly out of one side of his mouth, and a golf club slung casually over his shoulder.
Fucking icon.
A king.
That's what you use a golf club for. Not to scare little kids. To save people.
To protect your girl.
Yeah.
Does anyone else smell a potential ghost hunting, demon slaying show pitch here? Yes.
I kind of do.
Yes,
Oh my God.
do.
That would make a great show.
And
you should do that.
He's always got to have a cigarette or like a toothpick hanging out of his mouth.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the papier-mâché waking nightmare. I told them that I had no idea who this person was and showed them the picture, which they agreed was really fucked up. By that time, E had returned home and also came roaring up the stairs, ready to slap this kindergarten craft project gone wrong. I assured her I was okay and said she should check the door cam to see if they came to her door too. They hadn't. Since she hadn't been visited by crafty killer TM, I spent the night at her place. Over the next few weeks, I was on high alert. I was always waiting to hear the doorbell ring and see that face again, but whoever it had been never came back, and I eventually settled down a bit.
That's when they strike.
Fast forward to before Christmas. E and I were having a small Christmas party with our Goldfish Town alt senpai, a term of respect used for a person who is usually older, more experienced than you at life, job, etc.
I like
school,
that.
etc.
Senpai.
V and her husband H that's who they were. There was a period.
That's who they were.
V was the predecessor at my school, but she still lived in Goldfish Town and had met and married her husband there too. We had decided on doing a potluck dinner at our apartment, and everyone arrived with plenty of yummies in tow.
Oh, love that.
Exactly, as long as you know the people.
If I know your kitchen, I'll eat it. If I haven't seen your kitchen, I'm not eating it.
As we got to prepping, we were just chatting and catching up when E brings up the Halloween incident about how creepy it was and how scared we had all been. After that, dinner was almost ready, and we were about to sit down when V's husband started whispering to her in Japanese.
I'm nervous.
I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but she then said louder in English, "I'm sorry, just say I'm sorry." By this point, E and I were blatantly dropping those eaves and asking if everything was okay. When V's husband said, "I'm sorry, on Halloween, that was me in the mask."
Shut up. I love that it came up at a Christmas dinner.
And that he was like, "I don't know."
And the wife was like, "Say sorry."
She was like, "You
just
fucking
say
apologize."
fucking sorry.
I was fucking dumbstruck, gobsmacked, flabbergasted, and other big shocked words. I couldn't fucking believe it. It was you?
Why?
Why did you come here on Halloween wearing that mask? H went on to tell me that he and V had made Halloween goodie bags and wanted to give one to me and E.
I love that it was like a good, kind
so
thing.
pure.
And you were scared for months.
It was so pure.
Oh.
The reason he didn't show up to E's place was because he didn't know which apartment she lived in. My apartment actually used to be V's old place in her alt days, so he was hoping that I would tell him when I answered the door for my treat. But why that terrifying DIY serial killer face when a witch's hat or Dracula teeth would have gotten his trick-or-treat intentions across just fine?
Honestly.
Apparently the mask is from one of his favorite movies, a movie called Frank, starring Michael Fassbender, who plays a lead singer in a band, and he wears the mask because he gives him the confidence to perform due to his mental health issues.
Oh, that sounds like a beautiful plot.
Such a pure intent.
I love that.
I can't get over it. This is so pure.
This is
wholesome,
iconic.
but so scary.
This is hilarious.
I don't think I can ever see that movie because of how much the mask scares the living shit out of me.
It is scary. They attached a picture.
But you know what? H said it's very moving.
It sounds like it would be.
I attached a picture of the mask from the movie, but H's was handmade, which somehow made it more terrifying.
Yeah, that usually does happen.
Apparently, H really wanted to participate in Halloween revelry, and now were enough Americans to do it.
Oh.
We all had a good laugh about it, and honestly, I'm glad we could solve the Halloween mystery. Sorry to pull the spoopy rug from under you ladies, but I hope it gave you some good goosebumps and laughs. Thanks for reading my story, and I hope you keep it weird, but not so weird that you make your own papier-mâché head from an obscure Michael Fassbender film and try to drop off Halloween treats in a country that doesn't really celebrate Halloween, thus scaring the living shit out of you. Weird.
Oh my God.
Love you. Bye.
Also, I don't know if we can zoom, but this is the mask.
That would fuck me up.
Like, that's so scary.
That would fuck me right up.
Yeah.
Right
I don't love that.
the fuck up.
Right the fuck up.
B. That was so good.
And picture that homemade.
No.
B,
I
I
will
would have
not.
been shitting my pants along with you.
B, I would have died.
I love that that's like a rock star's mask.
I love it.
He's gotta figure out the band Ghost. Oh my God. All right, last one, you guys.
Last one.
Listener tale. Halloween. The time my dad attacked my friends and I with a chainsaw.
Oh, fuck.
Yay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't see that coming.
All right. Hey, spooky bachachos.
Bachachos.
I love bachachos. I used to say that all the
You
time.
did?
Yes, I gotta bring that back. I've been obsessed with you girls for years, and I have yet to find another podcast and podcasters I love as much as you. Thank you. We have a lot of great network shows. I go back and re-listen to multiple episodes, some because you cover them so well, some because they are hilarious, Carl, and most because I just love the sound of your voices. My toddler calls you the Ghost Girls because he hears you talking in the car, but he can't see you. That's adorable.
I
and
love that.
When I discovered your podcast, I came home and told my husband, I have found my spirit besties.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
That
We
makes
are
me
your
so
spirit
happy.
besties. And I made him listen to multiple episodes. He looked at me and said, well, when are we moving? Because he's supportive like that.
I love him.
I'm very much a mix of the two of you. Ash, Stevie Nicks is also my fairy witchy godmother. And Elena, I too hate the heat, love all things spooky and haunting, and suffer from migraines, bitches.
Hell yeah, bitches.
I truly feel hell yeah. I truly feel like I'm hanging out with you girls when I'm listening to your show, and it fills my social cup. I love that. Thank you.
Man, you really are meant to be our bestie.
You are, because we don't have like
My social cup is like a shot glass.
it's like so easy to fill. Yeah. All right, so on to my story. This is a story so many of my friends know, or friends of my friends know, and they still talk about it to this day, in our old age as we reminisce about our youthful shenanigans from early high school and even middle school. Elder millennial. What? Mm-hmm. Younger millennial. Not Gen Z.
Zillennial.
No offense, Gen Z. No, still millennial.
Zillennial.
No.
Like, isn't that what you're technically?
No, it's just millennial. It's just the younger years.
Zillennial.
Zillennial is made up. That's not a real generation.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to fight you. Before we get into the details, I must give you some backstory on where the morbid, scary, movie-loving, terror-chasing Halloween devotion comes from in my family. My grandma, Marge. I love that. Marge. My dad's mom was a huge horror fan and collected pretty much everything she could horror-themed, from stickers she'd put in sticker books to cups, and even a Chucky doll that moved on its own.
Okay, Marge is awesome.
Marge forever.
Marge forever.
Yes, I shit you not, and I have cousins to back me up on this, but that's for another time.
That's awesome.
I saw some horror movies way too young, as did a lot of my family members on my dad's side.
Same.
He was one of 5 kids, so it's gotten pretty large with the kids having kids and then those kids having kids, and it has started many traditions. Even though my grandma Marge passed away when I was still pretty young, I'm sorry, my family attributes our love of the spooky to her as it's trickled down our family line. This is what you have to look forward to.
Yes.
Side note, after she passed away, I for some reason wanted the Chucky doll, and my dad's response was, well, don't come crying to me if it comes after you in the middle of the night.
Your dad sounds awesome.
Needless to say, that 5-year-old did not take the doll and now sits in my aunt's basement in Atlanta. Now, this spooky devotion hasn't stuck with every family member, but most of us share the love of Halloween and all the things that encompass that. Now to the meat and potatoes and yams, wink wink, hash of my
yams.
story. We're on the yam. Growing up an only child, my dad was like, fuck that multiple sibling shit. My parents always allowed me to have friends over, mainly because it kept me entertained and out of their hair, but I digress. My parents' house became a spot that all of my friends knew they could come to over the years, show up unannounced and just chat, have spur-of-the-moment play date or sleepover, or even a large gathering of friends.
Oh, your parents are great.
I know, that's awesome. Halloween was always hosted at my house, and my parents went all out.
Yes.
Decorations, treats, so many pizzas, snacks, scary movies, hello, Blockbuster, galore. It was always a blast. We would do haunted hay rides, spooky cave walks, Trail of Terror, haunted houses.
Oh my God,
you name
yes.
it. They took me and truckloads of my friends to it.
Oh, I love that.
Best parents ever. I can't wait to be a parent like that.
Oh, I can't wait.
One of these particular Halloween weekends was when I was a freshman in high school. A large group of my friends and I went to see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre in theaters, followed by multiple movies at my house with all the fixins. We rented, the original Texas Chainsaw movies, amongst others, and hunkered down in my parents' basement, lights off, of course, and got cozy. Now picture it. One of those huge comfy couches and giant chairs that could fit like 4 people on it and even more people on the floor. And I'm sitting on the end of the couch closest to the wall and tiny window that peeks outside. After a while, I thought I heard something outside and asked, did anybody else hear that? Of course, they all said no. It was probably just the movie since we were watching a chainsaw movie and I thought I heard a chainsaw. Duh.
That'll do it.
I just shook my head, thought I was hearing things, and kept watching the movie. A few more minutes later, I heard the noise again, but it was very clearly not the movie, and my head snapped to the tiny window above my head, where I could tell it was now pitch black outside, so I couldn't see anything. So I said, seriously, you guys didn't hear that? And they said, no, Adrian, you're dumb and you're trying to scare us. There's nothing there. Third time's the charm. A few more minutes later, I heard this whirring noise again, and this time my bestie, Elise, also heard it. At this point, we paused the movie and all anxiously awaited to hear the sound again. Nothing came. Quick side note, earlier in the evening, my friends and I were talking about the shit that always happens in scary movies, like let's split up, or let's hook up, or let's go investigate. All the classics, right?
Yeah.
So my buddy Alex jokingly said, let's go investigate. And we all ran upstairs. We all ran up the stairs that led right out the back door to our driveway and backyard. Keep in mind, there are at least 10 of us, if not more, and Elise and I are the last ones out the door. It's pitch black and incredibly quiet, and we immediately regretted this decision, as they do in the movies.
Of course.
Our backyard was wide open to the other yards, no fences, and the driveway wrapped around the house with lights on the side that were currently off. As Alex and a couple other brave dudes walked slowly around to look down the driveway, slam goes the back door behind me, and click goes the lock. Moments later, the lights on the side of the house switch on, and in the driveway is a giant 6'4" man with a mask and a chainsaw, slowly hobbling towards us, ready to tear us all apart in the calmest manner.
I'm obsessed with this.
It was as if a small drip of water landed among ants as we all went in different directions. Some screamed and ran through other backyards, some froze in terror, and some of us, like Elise and I, tried to frantically get back in the house, but it was locked.
I love that you discovered in that moment who everyone was in a horror movie. Like, you can now, the debate is done.
You know who.
Like, it's no longer like, oh, you would be the person who does this in the horror movie. You're like, nope, you would be the person who runs in the next yard.
I would run into the next yard. That's your best bet. As we were all trying not to pee our pants and vomit the insane amount of junk food we consumed, and many of us had dispersed, the man takes the mask off, and with a giant grin, my dad starts laughing hysterically.
Your dad.
Forever.
Your dad.
I'm obsessed.
I love him.
My heart starts to slow a smidge as my mother unlocks the back door and is also laughing hysterically, both very, very proud that their plan was so successful.
As they should be.
Your parents for fucking ever.
Elite.
That is couple goals.
That is top-notch marriage
Top
and
tier.
top-notch parenting as far as I'm concerned.
So obsessed with that.
Wow. My brother did this.
To your ex-boyfriend?
To my ex-boyfriend after watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, actually.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It took a bit for all my friends to gather back up at my house, as you can imagine. One of the guys lived on the block behind me, so he literally just went home.
He ran home.
To resume our evening. But it was safe to say my dad set a precedent that night, and it was one that none of us have ever forgotten. My dad, known as Big Wave around town, is always someone people remember and recognize, and this just solidified his legacy. Now that I have kids of my own, I have some goals to reach, and at some point, I have to top this.
You got to.
I'm still friends with several of the people from that night, and we all like to talk about it and tell the story to relive the trauma of my dad scaring us shitless to this day. Even those that weren't there know this story and now know who Big Wave is.
Big Wave for fucking life.
Big Wave, Big Wave, Big Wave. Anyways, that's my tale. I hope you enjoyed it. We did.
We did.
And I hope Big Wave gave you something new to aspire to. Love you, witches.
Big Wave.
Oh my God.
Is my new goalpost.
Big Wave. Big Wave, honey. 5 ever.
Big Wave for life.
Big Wave.
Guys, those were awesome.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
What a beautiful mix of terrifying, hilarious, and so touching. This was amazing. I'm so glad that we got to get all dressed up and hang out with you guys. And we're definitely going to do this again because this is just too fun. It's really too fun to read these tales.
I love this.
As other people.
I'm already thinking about what I'm going to be next time.
I'm already thinking about it. So hopefully this is the beginning of something fun. And we hope you guys liked it. And
we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you don't throw ass with the Shadow Man, because why wouldn't you throw ass with the Shadow Man? Not so weird that... Actually, do keep it so weird that you have a ghostly ex-boyfriend who, like, talks to you through a New Orleans psychic, because that was the most beautiful thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Don't keep it so weird that you show up to somebody's door with a paper mache mask on to give the... Keep it so weird that you're going to give them a treat, but, like... Don't keep it so weird that you don't tell them who you are, because that was so scary. Keep it so weird. Don't ever keep it so weird that you're following little girls on Halloween night and trying to scare them. Fuck that. I'll kill you.
No.
And always keep it so weird that you're on Big Wave's level. Never ever sink below Big Wave's level.
Big Wave. Big Wave. Big Wave.
Big Wave.
Happy Halloween.
We love you. Mwah! I hope that was caught on film. We gotta start the fucking episode like that. Did you just hear her stomach? It literally, yes. It sounded like a lava lamp. The fuck?